So hey guys, and welcome to the video. Today we're going to be doing something pretty special. So on a Monday we usually do a Planet Coaster series, which is my dream park at the moment. That's been running since the channel virtually started. But today we're going to be doing something really special. As just mentioned, we're going to be doing a Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 Enhanced Edition gameplay. So if you're not following me on Instagram, go follow me on Instagram. I put out a poll on what you guys wanted to see, and the poll concluded with you guys wanting to see a Roller Coaster Tycoon Enhanced Edition. So that's exactly what I'm doing for you today. So my goal in this video is to build a mountainous roller coaster. I chose the mine train design for this, just because I felt like it fit in with that sort of theme really well. And here you can see me starting to build the start of that now. But yeah, I tried to build around the constraints of Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. If you play Planet Coaster and Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, you will know what I mean. The game just feels a lot more restrictive. The coaster builder itself is very linear. You can only build certain pieces, whereas Planet Coaster is sort of, you can build what you want. You can build anywhere. There isn't a grid system in Planet Coaster either. So in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, you're limited to a grid system. That's not the case with Planet Coaster. So as I say, I'm just trying to build around the constraints, and you'll see that a lot later when I start building the station building to this roller coaster. You'll start to see that grid system come into effect. So as you can see here, I'm continuing to build the roller coaster. I'm going to come back at a certain point and I'm going to give you my commentary on what I'm doing. So here we go. I'm just building a turnaround section. I tried to do like a double down section, but it just wasn't working out for me, to be honest with you, and the roller coaster had too much momentum to be able to pull off a double down section in this area of the circuit. But I do sort of put one in at the end. You'll see that again. Here I'm just doing a turnaround section, and at this turnaround section the roller coaster is going to go into another lift hill. So this is a double lift hill roller coaster, and again you'll really see how those double lift hills fit in with the terrain when I get to building the mountainous region around here. I really try to use the terrain editing tool to my advantage, but again, that's to come. I'll explain that when we are doing that. At the moment, we're just building a turnaround section at the top of the lift hill. I really try to make the roller coaster interact with itself as much as possible. I just like roller coasters that sort of weave in and out and really capture that element of interaction. And again, I tried to do that with this roller coaster, and I feel like I do that well to a degree. As I say, let me know down in the comments what you think, because I'm really interested to hear your guys' feedback on this roller coaster. I really, again, like I said at the start of the episode, I really tried to push the boundaries of this game. So if you notice, the roller coaster sort of goes off axis a bit, so I use some of the half turn pieces to really try and bring this coaster to a standard which you'd expect from Planet Coaster. Again, I don't pull it off fully, but you know, I do my best with what I'm given. So as you can see, I tried to put another double down section in, but it just didn't, or double up section, sorry, but it just didn't work. So I end up tearing that down and building a incline again. But yeah, I am going to allow the footage to be sped up again, and I'll come back in a second. So, here we go. I really do try and experiment a lot with this coaster. As I say, I'm working with a pretty limited game here, so I am trying to do my best with the tools that I've been given. So I end up again tearing all of this out, this sort of back bit, and I end up making a block section. Just because I want this roller coaster to have block sections so I can put multiple trains on it. In the end, we end up having two. So the throughput, if this roller coaster was real, of course, would be fantastic. We'd really be pushing those queues down. But yeah, as I say, this all gets torn down just because I just wasn't happy with it. Here you can see me try and do the double down section, but again it just didn't work. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to have block sections, I'm going to make this roller coaster have high throughputs really through these queues, and that's what I end up doing. And I end up having a few bunny hops as it goes back into the station. There's a brake section that goes into the station building itself, which is absolutely fantastic. Again, I'm really proud of the way that this roller coaster turned out. I really like it. I really like the way that it did turn out. So again, let me know down in the comments, what do you think? It's all right me saying, oh, I like this and I like that and I like this and I like that. I want to hear what you think, the viewer. What do you think of this roller coaster? Would you have done anything differently? Would you have laid out the layout in a slightly different way? Would you have put these bunny hills in at the end? Let me know. Again, I'm really interested. I want to make this as interactive as possible. So please do leave your comments down below. So here you can see I'm just starting to finish off this roller coaster. After the layout is finished, I move on to the mountains because I want to build around them. I wanted to build around them. I want to really make this roller coaster pop. I want to edit the terrain. the texture of the terrain, sorry, just to add a mountainous look to it. And I feel like I do that very well, but again, that'll come in a second. So here you can see I'm just searching for the terrain editor. Guys, you've got to remember that I've not played this game for going on 5 years now. And even when I did play 5 years, it was still, you know, I built a small park. It wasn't really anything big, so you've got to forgive me for being a bit rubbish, I'm afraid. I was quite unhappy with the terrain editor and the way that it sort of ate through the track like it is now, and I do smooth out the hills so they don't look as jagged, because at the moment they do look very, very jagged, and I don't like that. So as I say, I do smooth them out as much as possible, but I just don't like the way that the terrain eats through the track. I thought it was going to tunnel, and we're going to have quite a lot of tunnels. So as you can see, when I realise that it does eat through the track, I'm a bit more sparing with where I put these hills. But you can see, I don't just do it round the roller coaster, I do it right round the back of the layout as well, just so you've got that immersion. So when you're going around the track, yeah, you're going over these hills and you're going over these mountains, but at the same time, you can see them in the background, so you're really immersed in this ride experience. And again, when the POV comes, I feel like that's something that I managed to capture really well. And here you can see, actually, I'm starting to smooth out the tops of the hills. So very soon I start to edit the terrain, or edit the textures for the terrain, sorry. I stupidly put the snow on the top of the mountains first, and I really wish that I hadn't have done that. So what I do actually is I select a different texture, just write all over those textures. If I can speak today, write all over those textures, sorry, and make it look nice. I decided that this texture that I'm using at the moment wasn't really what I was going for. It doesn't really look mountainous, and it doesn't fit in with that aesthetic, so I do end up changing that. So just ignore this, it all gets written over. Again, it's all a work in progress. I mentioned this in my Planet Coaster episodes quite a bit, but I just don't want to go for the first thing that I see. I really want to take the time, make these parks look nice, and you know, really show off what I can do in these games. Again, I used to have custom packs in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, so I could really get down to the nitty gritty and start editing the supports on roller coasters and things like that, because if you didn't know, Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 had a great community for custom models and things like that. So again, you could edit supports, you could make really intricately detailed buildings. You could pretty much do anything, to be honest with you. There's still a great community out there, and there's still a lot of assets to be found, still a lot of models to be found for this game. I'm not sure whether they work with the Enhanced Edition, to be honest with you, because it's downloaded through the Epic Game Store. I know there is a version for Steam, but because it's downloaded through the Epic Game Store, and the Epic Game Store encrypts the game files, I don't know entirely whether you can mod the game, to be honest with you. But it'd be cool if you could, and it'd be cool to get those custom textures back. Custom models back. And really start intricately creating buildings. Because to be honest with you, I really didn't like the way that this game handled supports at all. I don't like the supports in this game. And you can say, yeah, it's a it's a very old game, Ryan, and I do understand that. But again, I just don't like the way that they look. I think they look really cheap and dirty in some areas, like this wooden support structure. I know, again, the game's old, but it's, you know, it just doesn't look good to me, and I just don't like the way that the supports look. But yeah, that's my love and peace on that subject. As you can see here, I'm starting to place some bushes and some trees around this mountainous area, just to make it look a bit more lived in. a bit more spaced out, and I feel like that's something that I capture very well. Here you can see what I'm starting to do now is I'm starting to build this station. The station area I'm going to theme to a western town that lives at the bottom of a mountain. So it's sort of like Red Dead. If you've played Red Dead Redemption or Red Dead Redemption 2, you have these villagers, or western villagers, I guess you could call them. I don't know the official name for them, but you have these villagers at the bottom of these mountains that people live in, and they all and it's all like at the bottom of the foot of these mountains, and I really like that. So I do try to capture this with this roller coaster. I do understand that I'm using a roof piece here, by the way, on the floor. I just feel like this works very well as a floor piece. I'm going to be honest with you. Again, the best part about these Roller Coaster Tycoon games and the best part about Planet Coaster is you can do whatever you want. If you think it looks good, you can do it. So, you know, just be creative with these games. And that's, again, that's what I try to portray in my videos, especially with Planet Coaster. I try to be creative as possible. So I'm going to stop rambling now because I've realised that I've been rambling for quite a while. I'm going to speed up the gameplay and I'm going to come back after this has been finished. And here we go, we're starting to build the roof on this roller coaster station. So I end up going with these sort of, how would you put it, like these flat pieces first. These flat roof pieces, just so the slanted pieces of the roof had something to sit on. I feel like this works out well. I know at the moment it looks a bit naff, to be honest with you, but it does end up looking somewhat decent towards the end of this. Bearing in mind as well that I have built these solid wooden walls, but at the end of the, towards the end of the episode, I do start to add more to these walls. I do more to the station building. I don't just leave it like this. The reason that I did the roofing first and just built the basic outline for the station building was so that I had a bit of a canvas to work off of. And I feel like I gave myself the right opportunities to do that. So, I do start selecting the curved or the slanted roofs now, just so the roof doesn't look too plain and boring. Because from a guest level, you're not going to see the station roof, but from our level, you are. So I do want to make every inch of this as good looking as possible, and again, do as much as you can with the restraints of this game. So here you can see I'm starting to add the first pieces. You can start to see the guests actually build up on the paths. Because this game is so isn't resource intensive, you can have multiple guests like this just walking up and down that path at all times, and it doesn't really bother the PC. It'd probably bother a PC from like, I don't know, 20-25 years ago, but because my PC is a lot newer than that, it doesn't really bother it. I know my PC's going on for 6 years now. If you didn't know, my PC is kitted out with an AMD 8350, 32 gigs of RAM, and an RX 480. I had to remember that then. I remember having the R9 290, and that was a great graphics card. But I upgraded to the RX 480 just because I wanted to play games. It's somewhat 4K. I know it can't really game in 4K at high settings, but it can game decently well at 240p, for example. Enough about the geeky talk. I could go on for ages about PC components and stuff like that, but I'm not going to. Don't worry. It's not that type of channel. But yeah, I am starting to put the finishing touches on the station now. I'm going to speed the footage up, and I'm going to come back afterwards. So here I am putting in a lot more of this intricate detail. So I put quite a lot of foliage, sort of dead plants, a few cacti, or cactuses, depending on how you want to say it. Either pronunciation is absolutely fine, apparently. So the station building looks quite bare, but again, these are the intricate details now. I really turn that around and I really start to change things. I do change the terrain here to a slightly more sandy looking texture, just because, again, I want this whole area to be an experience. I don't just want the station to be themed, I want this whole area to be themed. And you can really start to see that coming alive now. I really do like the way that these mountains look, especially with the coaster interaction there as well. But yeah, so as you can see, starting to add a few more of those intricate details. So yeah, I'm going to come back after I've added a few of these. So here we go, I'm starting to add just the final details now. I don't add very much after this. You can see me adding a few western scenes on here. I didn't really want it to be this western, to be honest with you, but I just thought, you know what, we're using western pieces, why not, let's just go for it. So yeah, I do add quite a few of these in, like a few cowboys that are shooting guns and things like that, just so it looks a bit more authentic, because I felt like it looked a bit bare without these. So we're coming towards the end of the episode now. I really hope you have enjoyed this. Again, let me know down in the comments, do you want to see more Roller Coaster Tycoon? Because if you guys want to see it, I will do it. Again, I want this channel to be as interactive as possible, and I want you guys to have your input. And again, I will be holding more polls on Instagram, so if you want to go and have your say, do go follow me on Instagram. That's i.coaster, so that's spelled EYE.coaster. So yeah, just get over there, because again, I do interact with you guys quite a lot on there. And I do respond to any messages that I get as well. So yeah, you could get talking to me if you really wanted to. I'm really interested to have a chat with you guys. But yeah, I have been Ryan from iCoaster. This has been Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 Enhanced Edition. I shall see you next Monday with a Planet Coaster episode, unless you guys want another one of these. Click that subscribe button if you've not clicked that subscribe button already, and turn on all notifications so you don't miss a single video, and click the like button to let me know that you've liked it. If you've stayed this long, then you've obviously liked it, so please do like the video. Thank you very much, guys. I'll see you next Monday. Let's go with a POV.